Alright, here we go. I'm Eric Himan, and welcome to the new edition of Trial and Eric, which is a little cooking show that I've done for months now. Months and months and months and months. So I'm trying to continue it and sticking with it. So on this version of it today, I'm going to be solo. I'm just kind of by myself and finally had a moment. I've been running around. I've been touring. I've been working on this Queen show. Just been doing a lot. And all I really wanted to do was sit down and have some fried chicken. So I thought today would be a great thing after seeing Hilah cooking. If you check it out online, it's this awesome girl Hilah. And she did a video that The Advocate posted. And on that video, she is making a Chick-Fil-A sandwich where she says something to the effect of, now you can have your Chick-fil-A sandwich without all the politics of having to go there. Because as you know, they're not the most gay-friendly. In fact, they're the opposite right now, contributing to a lot of anti-gay organizations. So, but they do make a great chicken sandwich, and I'm going to take two recipes today. Count them, 1, 2, Hilah's, and another one, Malcolm's, from fromaway.com. And I'm going to try two of their recipes and see which one is the closest tasting to the Chick-fil-A traditional sandwich, or the classic sandwich as they call it. You know, where they have the nice bun and then they have the fried piece of chicken with the pickles underneath. It's simple, but it tastes awesome. So we're going to try that today. So the first thing I learned from watching Hilah and from reading the other recipe, as you call it, Chick. I'm going to read out what everybody's saying. It's working now, yay. The first thing you do is you get a chicken breast. Right here we have 2 chicken breasts. Thanks, Jim. I will make that chicken, Bubala. And we take 2 chicken breasts, and in Hilah's, and I used it as well from far away, but they don't really specify doing this. I let it marinate for an hour in about a half a cup of pickle juice. And I used a little bit of classic, yes, just sour dill pickle juice. Let it kind of marinate in there and get all good. So the next thing I'm going to do is show you real quick, and here we are. And here we have our pickles, our pickle juice with our chicken all marinated. And I have not one, but as you see, 2. In this one, as you can see, it is 1 egg and a 1/4 cup of milk. And in this one is half a cup of milk, 1 egg, and 2 tablespoons of water. So I kind of have this situated to where you can kind of see the progression of how they move from the chicken and the pickle juice to the egg wash to the dry ingredients. I have already started the dry ingredients of Hilah's, which is a tablespoon of powdered sugar, half a cup of flour, half a teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of celery salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of dried basil. So that's all in here, all good. So the next thing I'm going to do is construct from Away, which I have the recipe right here. It's fromaway.com. I'm going to construct their version, which has different ingredients. So they say that they're both getting to the same place, but we'll really see about that. And right now on the stove, right over here, I love it. I should really invest in getting a camera crew, a network station, a bunch of people to hold the camera. But for now, it's just me in my kitchen, not playing music at the moment, just cooking some Chick-fil-A filet-ness. So right here we have oil burning, but it is, I have to say, Crisco. See, I am not a big fan of cooking fried food, and when I do around like Hanukkah, when I'm making potato latkes, I tend to use vegetable oil. I'm allergic to peanuts, so I can't do peanut oil. So the only other choice is Crisco, and my partner thinks Crisco is awesome and much better to fry things with than the taste of vegetable oil. So for now, excuse the Crisco and know that I'm sure there's a healthier option, but we're frying, so I mean, we're working with it. So we got that heating up right now, just sitting there. So what I'm going to do, is tell you really quick, if you ever get a grease fire, I've learned to put it out, you do not throw water on it. Definitely don't do that. You throw flour on it. So, hey, you learned something. All right, so now we're going to construct the second one. I have a 1/4 cup of, a 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, which I have right here. I love in cooking shows like Paula Deen and all that stuff, they have all their fancy little things that they put stuff in. I got this at Walmart, and I feel like it suffices, but it's not as pretty as the stuff that, Giada's using. But then again, I'm not Giada. I'm just Eric Himan from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So, Chad says, I volunteer for camera options. Am I ever going to do catering? I actually get asked in Tulsa if I would cater certain events. I have catered by bringing dishes to certain things, bringing some potato gnocchi, stuff like that. I've had the pleasure of being asked to do stuff like that. So I don't know if I'll ever do it, as a career, because I got a lot going on. But I would love to do it someday. I think it'd be a lot of fun. This is like, this show is so gay on my screen. Yes, Ken, and thank you for having me on your show. Everybody tuned in. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching my little cooking dog and pony show. All right, now we have whole wheat flour, and we're going to get a 1/4 cup of that in here. Na, 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 na. This is what I used, whole wheat. For gluten people, this is terrible. Don't do this. So about 1/4 cup of that, and we'll kind of throw that in there. And then we have, I've never bought this before until this recipe, and I didn't even realize they made it, but here we go. Dried milk. Has anybody seen this? It's expensive. It's way more expensive than regular milk. But it's what this recipe called for, so we're going to go with it. So we got a tablespoon of dried milk. I'm so curious to see how this is going to taste. And then we have a tablespoon of powdered sugar, which was in our other recipe. Or, yes, a tablespoon. Right here, we got this going on. And then, pour that in there. Da, 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 da. Apparently I like making messes. I'm very good at that in terms of the kitchen. In case you ever want me to come to your house and cook, I make a giant big old mess. 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, or baking soda, sorry. Ooh, geez, I am making a big mess. Somebody will clean that up. Here we go. I promise if I get my own cooking show, everything will already be set out and all nice and pretty. 1/4 teaspoon of dry mustard, which we have right here. And that's probably right there. And that's all that we need for this. Pull this all together. Tell my dog to stop eating the powdered sugar that's on the floor. Buster Brown right here. I'd pick him up, but that wouldn't be very sanitary now, would it? Alright, so we got our mixtures all right here. Here we have Hilah's, and here we have From a Ways. And we are making Chick-Fil-A classic sandwiches without all the bigotry. Yes, folks, there's no bigotry in these Chick-Fil-A sandwiches. I know, dried milk, it's crazy expensive. It was like, for this bag, it was about $4. And then there was a box of it that was like $8. So just go and get regular wet milk, people. Wet milk. All right. So let's turn up our oil. And I'll bring you over to the oil in just a second. Come on, oil. I'll bring you over to the oil in just a second. All right, let's do this right now. Here we have our chicken. So I'm going to take the first one out right here. And let's try Hilah's first. And we're going to put that right in here. It's kind of a big piece. I'm the type that I think I want to cut it in half after it's cooked. But it's thin. You pound it. If you want a very perfect chicken breast, very evenly cooked, I suggest you either go and get thinly sliced chicken pieces, which I already did and cheated, or you can take a meat tenderizer, put some plastic wrap over it, and pound it down till it's about a ½ inch thick. So back to the chicken. Is that what you use? So here we go. Into the flour. Kind of get that all around. Try not to make an even bigger mess, which I'm, again, very good at. It's fun to cook. So that's the fun, is it gets to be all nice and messy. So we have our little timer going off. Because when you have Chick-fil-A, and I'll keep that in there for just 1 second. When you have Chick-fil-A, I thought it would be strange to not have, drum roll please, waffle fries. How can you not have waffle fries with your Chick-fil-A sandwich? So I'm going to flip these over real quick, put them right back in. Hold on 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic. Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island. Discuss. Alright. Just flipping these. I'm sure this is exactly how they do it at Chick-fil-A. Just flipping, 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 flipping. Make sure they're all nice and crispy. And for another 10 minutes, they go right back in. I know, I'm making this chicken from scratch, but waffle fries, I don't know. I don't necessarily have to prove that one. So there we go. Chick-fil-A. Well, that's what she calls it. Hilah calls it Chick-fil-A. That's her sandwich. All right, so over here, we're going to do our second one, which is taking our chicken piece, putting it in from a ways mixture of milk, water, and 1 egg. And then in this one, the consistency of this one looks so much different than the first one, so I'm kind of curious to see how this really comes around. And our oil's getting hot right now, so there's that. And then we have this first one, and we're going to just make sure we get as much flour on it as possible. The one thing about frying that I find is it's so strange, like you end up, the recipe calls for so much more than you actually need, and then afterwards, you know, after you end up putting chicken in it, which of course you can't reuse, you are stuck throwing away like all the rest of these ingredients. And I mean, I put quite a bit of flour in this stuff, so, you know, if anybody wants to buy me some flour next time you see me at a show, that'll be awesome. All right, now let's march. I'm going to move you over here. Welcome to my kitchen from this angle. And as you can see, we have our oil all hot and nice. I'm going to take these over, and we are going to drop them in and make it a lot brighter over here. Is everybody good? I appreciate the tips. Thanks, Chad. Vegetarians, Ken. I bet you could find a way to do this. I don't even know. Like, I guess maybe eggplant or something that has that consistency probably might work. All right. So what I like to do before I put anything in here is test the oil to make sure it's hot enough. Because if it's not going to work. You want it like sizzling, popping, making all those lovely noises. I'll teach you how to use the leftover flour and egg to make country fritters. Yes, David, that would be awesome. All right, so I'm going to take a pinch of this and toss it in there. And it's not quite done. It's not really sizzling yet. So I'm going to wait, get my fork over here, and wait a little bit and see when it starts to fizzle and pop. I will say I'm traveling a lot, these next few weeks. Sydney, that's awesome that you're on here. How are you? Flower at your next Lexington show. That's awesome. I am traveling in July. This weekend I'll be in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And then I will be in, where will I be? Monroe, Louisiana next week. And then Destin, Florida. I'll be at Hog's Breath Saloon. And then you can find me the week after. Ooh, it's starting to pop. Then you will find me the week after in State College at Penn State for Arts Fest. And I'll also be at Ashland, Virginia at the Iron Horse. Followed by a little quick trip to Nashville to do some co-writing with some awesome country people. And then, where am I after that? Just traveling around. I know my schedule is getting kind of crazy. But then at the end of the month, that's what this is for, Queen. Doing a big, huge Queen tribute show with help from the Tulsa Opera. It's going to be awesome. All right. So I think we're good. I'm going to put in Hilah's first. So we have our chicken right here all ready to go. And they said 2 minutes on each side. So that shouldn't be that hard. So let's say a little prayer. There we go. I hear it sizzling. I bet you kind of want to drown it. So let's see. There you go. It's all bubbling and nice. You can see this new carpet that we just got. Do you like that? There we go. All sizzling and popping. So let's give it timer set. 2 minutes on this side. You know how Chick-Fil-A always has that like really dark color to their chicken? I don't know. I'm going for that. So as that's going, we are going to take my lovely griddle pan, and I like my chicken sandwiches. If I'm making them, I'll sing some Queen. David McCrory, I will sing some. I like mine with Hawaiian buns, like Hawaiian rolls. I grew up in Hawaii, and this stuff is awesome. I know usually some people will be like, oh, it's not authentic Hawaiian, but these are awesome. So I think they make the best buns. So one signature thing that Chick-fil-A does is that they take some butter, some melted butter, which I'm going to melt real fast in here. Take some melted butter, brush it on to both sides of the bun, and then griddle it just for a second, like that. And then, last but not least, we're going to add our pickles. So everybody good? Golden brown. Aw, yeah. I never realized I would be good at talking to a camera like a person like this. But then I saw Me at the Zoo, that Chris Crocker documentary, and I think he is really good at that. All right, so we're getting it nice and golden brown. I just flipped that over. And I'm going to set that down on this plate. And then we're going to try the other one, and then we're going to compare and see which one's the best. And then, if we have 5 extra minutes, I'm going to sing you a Queen song. It's the least I can do for you jumping on here. Ah, Alec likes the Hawaiian buns. Thanks, Tony. So, they cook pretty quick. So I don't think we're going to have too much of a problem getting this one in time for a song. But let's butter our buns. We got our butter right here. Just kind of wipe it on just that one side. Wipe on this other side. I feel like I look pretty bummy today. Next time I promise to dress up for you. Alright. So we got our rolls all buttered. We're going to turn this on to low so it doesn't end up burning like crazy. There we go. Keep that on low and transfer that onto here. Make sure they're nice and toasty brown. All right, I think we are getting very good here. Oh yeah. Kind of scares me when it like bubbles up like that. All right. 1 piece of fried chicken done. Jeez, this stuff is going bananas. It's like some scene from Gremlins where something gets thrown in and then they all like go bananas. I don't know why I just referenced Gremlins and food. I'm sure that's not the right thing. All right, second round. I get a little nervous when it pops and bubbles like this fast. All right, now we got the second version of our Chick-Fil-A copycat, which is from faraway.com. And in it goes. And that's sizzling already. Frying food is fun. LOL, the puppy went by. You guys can see the dog? Buster! For the ground! I know, I'm that kind of guy that calls his dog like that. Sit, come over here. Come over here. Sit down. Be a good boy. There he is, right here. Well, right there. Little Buster Brown. Next time wear some Freddie Mercury black pleather. Yes, black pleather is definitely my style. I don't know what I'm wearing just yet. Any suggestions? How can I be more Freddie Mercury-like? Turn that off. I'm gonna go get my guitar. How about that? Let's do a little song. I'm all about the idea of it being kind of funny. If I ended up playing like Chicken Fried by the Zac Brown Band, I think that would be very appropriate. But maybe not so much for this, especially with the whole Queen thing. I don't know. Let's do a little Queen, shall we? This mustache is very real. And itchy. Thanks, Daryl. Let's flip this first. Oh, that's a nice color. Alright. Y'all hear me? Alright, here we go. I want to break free. I want to break free. I want to break free from your life, for your self-satisfied. I don't need you. I want to break free. God knows I want to break free. I've fallen in love. I've fallen in love for the first time. This time I know it's for real. I've fallen in love. God knows I've fallen in love. It's crazy, but it's true. Hey, I can't get over the way you love me like you do. But I got to be sure when I walk out the door, know how I want to break free. Oh, how I want to break free. Oh, how I want to break free. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. But life still goes on. No, I cannot live without you by my side. I don't wanna be alone. God knows I'll make it on my own. can't you see? God knows I want to. God knows I want to. God knows I want to break free. Woo! That's got to be some record for like playing a Queen song and flipping chicken. Thank you, Steve. We were so on the right page. All right, back over here we go. And we will construct our sandwich and do our little taste test. So let's put our buns on here. So we got our buns all brown. And we got our 2 pieces of fried chicken. So let's see. Let me get a knife. And we will cut these 2 in half and see what happens. All right. First off, let's see. Got this piece. This is, I know, it's like the chicken to bun ratio is ridiculous. I get it. Put that on the top half for now. And here is Hilah's. You can definitely, I don't know, I think you can definitely see the difference in color. Here's Hilah's. And here is Malcolm's from faraway.com. This looks to me to be a little more like the original than this one does. I mean, they're both awesome, and we got to give them credit for trying, especially with such an awesome sandwich that like Chick-Fil-A makes. But I'm just going to kind of cut this in half right here so it fits on our bun a little bit better. And you can't have Chick-fil-A without pickles. So what we will do is we'll get a few pickles out of the jar, put them on both sides, as you can see right there. I think 3 pickles to a bun, I think that's a good ratio. Alright, so I chopped off a little extra piece. It tastes awesome. Now, I'm going to move the chicken over. Be careful because you just fried it. You don't want to burn your hands. Have our extra piece right here. Alright, so, ta-da! Flipping it over like this. Press it down. And then go in over here. I'm trying to make it all pretty for you guys. And we're rounding. We got 1 minute to go. Like I'm going to get kicked off the air or something. We'll pull this out. Onto our plate, we will add our waffle fries. Now, doesn't that look like we went to Chick-fil-A? Doesn't that kind of look like it? And they smell awesome. Okay. Hilah sandwich, I'm going to take a bite out of real fast. I'm so cooking this tomorrow. Alright, we got one. Hold on. And now rounding the second one. I don't know. I think this one tastes more like it. If I had to ask. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the second one. But, thank you so much for joining me on my show. I sang, I made some chicken, we talked about Chick-fil-A. I have a mess to clean up now. But I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. The next Trial and Error will be on July 19th. And it's going to be really cool because it will be at one of the first restaurants I ever worked at was at Penn State. while I was in college, I ended up waiting tables at this awesome Italian restaurant. And now, after all these years, I think it's been like 13 years since I've worked there. I was like 20 years old. I'm going back cooking with one of my friends, Jen Zangrelli, who runs the place, and we're going to make some awesome food. I think we're making suckling pig. I know that's kind of out of my element a little bit, but we'll figure it out. And tune in July 19th. I might even sing another Queen song. Up until the show, I feel like I'm just a Queen machine. So you guys have a great time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time. I wish I had this song to like play me out other than me singing. I want to break free. Bye, guys.